bottles, we can carry out the solvents in different proportion and ratio if it is in case of gradient. But in case of isocritic, the solvent will pass through the pump from the one bottle and which will be of 100%. Here it is showing audit trial. Here sampler. In sampler, we will put the temperature of the sampler port. Column composition. Here we will put the nominal temperature, temperature ready delta, equilibrium time, which will be provided in your standard test procedure. So by seeing that procedure, you can fill all the criteria. These are the detector: UV detector, fluorescent detector, reflective index detector. These are the detector. Here we put the nanometers of the detectors. Here UV visible detector are of two type, UV1 and UV2. These are our sample port. Here we put the sample and can easily recognize from here. So I have shown you how to create sequence, method, and how can we operate the Chromeleon 7. For getting more about the data processing system, so how can we get the data after integration, just be on my channel. This is the HPLC system. This is the reservoir which consists of mobile phase bottles. Here you can easily see A, B, C and D tubes are dipped in the mobile phase bottle. Here these are the suction filters which filter the mobile phase before letting it through the column. This is the detector, UV detector. This is the connection of the detector to this column port. That means the detector will connect through this column by this tube, which is called as detector end tube. This is the sample port which carries these trays of sample, and here we put the sample vial. Here inside the injection is there which inject this sample. How much will it take the injection volume? It will be prescribed or defined in the sequence. That's why we make the sequence, as it will shows how much mobile phase, how much injection volume, how much temperature for the system we have to regulate. And this is the pump which mix and pumps out our mobile phase into the column. This is the column port. Here we put the column. This is the detector end of the column. This is the injector end of the column. Here the injection will inject the sample and passes through this end, and the sample will pass through this end to detector. This is the column, make of thermoscientific. It has given the part number, lot number and its dimension. It's of 250 mm with diameter of 4.6 mm and its particle size is 5 micron, which is very important to observe before initializing any sequence through the system to instrument. So we will stand it like this to head the arrow in the upward direction. Column comprises of the stationary base made up of silica gel gypsum, which consists of stationary layer which is made up of liquid, which may be of polar and non-polar. Phase will pump out through the pump to the column, and the sample is injected through the injection and entered into the column. Sample will move over the stationary phase with the help of mobile phase, and the sample will work on the principle of adsorption and the partition. Then it will reach to the detector, and there it detects into its components.